like so many ways that you can think about it, I suppose, and I think that's personally what I find most interesting about like the whole flat Earth subject in general. It's just like if you actually open your mind enough to consider it and like consider the fact that it can actually like really shatter your entire perception of reality in a sense, because it's like sort of one of the most concrete things that you just take as like as fact without really thinking about it. Like if you can actually shatter that in your mind to consider the fact that there could be, like land beyond what we are aware of at this point, like it can
Think about this. Antarctica in 1957, all of the countries of the world, all of the UN countries, basically all the countries of the world, signed a treaty that nobody, no corporation, no person, nobody can explore Antarctica like other than little sightseeing trips to the edge, to a little ceremonial pole. Nobody can go on their own, and there's they make it nearly impossible. And even if they did let you, Antarctica is a cold, dark place as the farther out you get, and you just might not be able to go that far. There's no McDonald's or fueling station or, Starbucks or anything along the way. So, it's physically difficult to explore, and they don't want anybody going down there, and you can't even question it until the year 2040, I believe.
Yeah,
Okay?
definitely. I think when I first started reading about all this stuff and like listening to your podcasts and like pretty much like looking at like all the other stuff as well, like it was definitely the like the mysteries of Antarctica that sort of like really made me think, like second guess whether I was second guess whether I was right or not that the Earth was not flat. But yeah, like
there's a video called "Sorry, Antarctica is Closed" by Taboo Conspiracy. If somebody who thinks that, hey, you can just go to Antarctica, they can't guard the whole coastline, you're wrong. It's a 30-minute video that'll show you how it is basically impossible to go explore Antarctica with the way they have things set up and the physical conditions of doing such a trip. So again, a 30-minute video. It's more than 140 characters, like Twitter, because people have what I call a Twitter mind. Anything longer than 140 characters, they tune out. But if you want to know the truth about why you can't go to Antarctica, you have to watch that 30-minute video.
Yeah, that's something I've actually been thinking about a lot recently as well. Like I was someone who used Twitter like extensively for like I'd say about 2 years or so. And I found like when I was like really using it in depth, I wasn't like properly thinking straight. Like I was like, just as you just said, then like thinking in 140 characters or less. And I think like that's sort of almost like a weapon against people to like make them dumb and like not be able to think critically and such. I mean,
Prismo in your chat basically wrote, the treaty does not prohibit going there. There are many organizations that take tours there. Actually, there's only one organization under many names that does tours there. It costs maybe $15,000 to $25,000 to go there for a few days. So that limits most people from being able to go there. And then when you go there, you're right along the shoreline. They take you on a little guided tour where you cannot step off the path. They show you a ceremonial pole. They go, look, you're at the South Pole. No one ever breaks out a compass or anything, or really looks at it. And then you leave, and that is not exploring Antarctica. Even if they took you 100 miles in, which they do not, that's not exploring Antarctica, because those are the outer lands to the flat Earth.
Have you ever like sort of thought deeply about what if there are these outer lands, like what does lay beyond, basically? Have you ever thought in depth about that kind of thing at all?
What's beyond? What's in those outer lands?
Yeah.
So I did a talk, which anyone listening that's interested, write these names down so you can actually take the time and learn. But I did there's a video on my channel, my channel is DITRH, which is the initials for Deep Inside the Rabbit Hole. If you just search the outward flow of civilization on my channel, DITRH, I did a talk with Sophia Smallstorm, and we talk about how the sun moves the ice outwards, and perhaps the Atlantis and the other civilizations back then, when there's a shift in where the ice is, everybody is pushed outwards, and they migrate outwards, which is south. So let's what if coming next year, North America and Europe stayed frozen in July, and it never defrosted, but the tropics were still beautiful. What's everyone going to do? Everyone's going to migrate outwards, okay? And then that ice barrier between north of them to the center is going to get bigger and bigger, and it's essentially going to become unpassable. And then over time, perhaps another sun is born in the north. There's lots of similarities between that and biblical text, where that sun will come and be the savior to the people that stayed in the ice land, and it will start rotating and oscillating inwards and outwards and pushing that next ice ring out. So perhaps Atlantis is still thriving, lands just outside of Antarctica. Again, we haven't been there, we don't know, but there's evidence of this. There's evidence that Antarctica wasn't always a frozen land. There's stuff under the ice. So
what has been speculated